Hello and welcome to PlayStation Grenade. Fortnite is one of the most content-filled games I have ever played. It's like Minecraft mixed with wave and tower defense and a crazy level of micromanagement and detail. Many of the skills you will pick up through osmosis, but there's a few things that slip under the net. After 20 hours of play, I've barely scratched the surface of this beast, but even in that short amount of time, I've found 10 things I wish I knew when I first started. I'm starting with something which is counterintuitive to most gamers. On most levels you are given a task to complete, such as finding and activating an atlas. Don't rush to it. Leave it as long as you can. The game world rewards you for scavenging, looting and exploring. So run into the wilderness and find activities to complete. Rescuing survivors.
Thanks again for your help. See you soon.
Find blueprints to help you craft buildings which don't look like basic cube structures. Completing these will reward you handsomely by simply following the designs. You can build some really impressive structures.
Ninja to the beat, y'all!
There are little mini games to find too and boosters to unlock. Once these are complete, now's the time to go to the original task in the world. So remember, explore the worlds you are thrown into. You may find a treasure chest or two or something which can be searched. By the way, don't destroy something before you search it, or all that precious loot is gone for good. The stumbling block we all run into quite early on in the game is locating ammo. Resources are an integral part of the game, and nuts and bolts are the resource you're probably running low on. They can be found in many places, but the most reliable way to farm them is by smashing the shit out of the vehicles you see. I suggest going to the towns if you need to craft ammo, as vehicles are few and far between in the countryside. Later in the game, a mission named Repair the Shelter will ask you to search for these transparent objects. The majority of these bad boys contain up to 400 nuts and bolts, so farm to your heart's content. Your first real mission will see you building a storm shield home base. You'll be coming back here regularly, and whatever you build will stay here indefinitely. So plan what you build and don't make a huge embarrassing mess like me. If you change your mind later on and tear everything down, it will be massively time consuming and it won't yield many materials in return. And as the game progresses, the quality of your structures, the traps you create, are imperative to survival. So always plan what you want to build. Speaking of traps, if you look closely enough, you will see your backpack has a limit to the amount of items it can carry. A great way to make space in your rucksack is to craft numerous traps. This will also keep you one step ahead when it's time to build defenses. Just be mindful of the materials it takes to craft those. Level up your character. Try not to play as one single character, as each of them has benefits and a few limits too. The ninja's double jump is very useful when exploring, but other characters have constructing abilities, and in the later levels, these are essential to maintaining your structures. So my advice? Try out a few characters and switch things up every now and again. Remember to level your characters too, and improve their stats and abilities. This goes for weapons too, and pretty much everything else in this game. Level it up. Level up your favourite guns to improve them constantly. Eventually, each gun will break, but don't worry too much. When you craft another, it will retain the level you progressed it to. So don't save it for a rainy day. Use it and craft another when the time is right. Another tip I wish I knew early on was the recycle function. When weapons are close to breaking, you can opt to recycle them. The benefit to doing this are the resources you receive in return. You won't get enough back to craft the same gun again, but you will receive materials which may be difficult to find in the open world. So recycle to your heart's content. Oh, and by the way, the guns you craft yourself will have far superior stats and perks to those you find in the game world. So when you get a new gun schematic, craft it and try it out. Furthermore, as you level up your skill tree, recycle old weapon schematics too, and other low-level stuff you don't really want, such as survivor cards. Retire them to make room for higher level survivors, as well as gain a little XP too. The next tip isn't accessible from the beginning, but once you start to upgrade your skill tree, it will be. Before each level, during the character lobby screen, select your character and add gadgets to your loadout. I only have two at this point. The first is a health boost to your character and other allies that may be in the vicinity. And my current favourite gadget is the freaking airstrike. Both are perfect for difficult sections in each outing. Finally, building a defense. The husks will take the path of least resistance, trying to get to whatever you're defending, so keep that in mind when you're creating a maze for them to run through. If you build up an area too extensively, the enemy will simply ignore it, and your hard work is ruined. Give the husks a line to run through, known as funneling, then sit back and watch the carnage. So that's it, that's 10 super quick tips when you're trying to get your head around Fortnite. And guess what? That's only the beginning. Explore and scavenge before committing to the task at hand. Farm ammo spots, upgrade absolutely everything, recycle where possible, use your gadgets as soon as you can, and plan your defenses accordingly. There are so many more areas to look at in Fortnite, and if this becomes useful, I'll be sure to create a new video for intermediate players. I need to take a minute to thank YouTuber and Twitch streamer Taco Fist for helping me out on this one. He's in my suggested channels list, so please check him out if you want to see some Fortnite live. And he pretty much plays anything he can get his hands on too. I'm Adam from PlayStation Grenade. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll see you next time.